it's Reana, your favorite YouTube sister people.
Duo.
And we are here to talk about something that might resonate with a lot of you. And I mean, it's a very popular, controversial topic, we can say. Because we are going to be talking about body image struggles. And more importantly, our personal body image struggles from our entire fitness journey, all the way from fit to fat to fit-ish.
Yes.
So,
and we hope that this you can relate to this, or if you are having struggles of your own, that you can see that no matter if you are on any end of the spectrum or anywhere in between with body image, that you're not alone and you're not crazy, and it's okay, and we're here for you. So growing up our entire lives, we played sports, and our family always pushed us to be athletic and to be, people who were active all the time. So we always did stuff, whether before we even got into competitive sports, it was always going out and just being active for fun. And then we kind of grew up and got into competitive basketball. And that was like a big part of our lives for a really long time, which was awesome. So many great things came out of that. But also a lot of struggles came out of that too.
yeah, as far as like, we were always like being compared to other players, and we had to be quicker, we had to be stronger, we had to lose 10 pounds. And so we were always worried about losing weight, but we were always like...
Not concerned about being healthy.
Yeah.
Just about
losing weight.
Losing weight.
So there was a period of time when I'm pretty sure I ate like oatmeal and then like maybe a sandwich and then like a turkey wrap for dinner. And I would run on the treadmill for 70 minutes straight, just watching Property Brothers for like 1 month. And I would do the Nike Connect to get like
workouts,
to get like strength stuff and like body weight strength. And I lost 10 pounds.
Yeah. And I would go...
But I wasn't healthy.
Or any, like, faster, right?
I don't know.
But you were probably a lot, like weaker just because you didn't have the fuel and the energy in you.
Yeah.
Yeah.
It was weird.
Yeah, and I went through, like, in high school, like, I went through, like, up and down, like, probably, like, 3 or 4 times, like, gaining, like, 20 pounds and then losing 20 pounds and then gaining 20 pounds and then losing 20 pounds.
20?
Yeah, until senior year when I quit basketball.
I didn't even notice.
And then I gained a lot. And then probably like 30 or 40. But then like kind of lost it again until I graduated.
We were always just nitpicking ourselves, or somebody was nitpicking us, and we just like, nothing was ever good enough. And like a lot of people in sports, I think, can relate to that.
Yeah.
Team sports or individual sports, any kind of sports, I think you're always judged and judging yourself, judging your performance, judging like how you could be so much better, and
I think too,
we went through the same thing.
I think too, not even on the athletic level, but just on like a personal level, is that like I was always, I don't know if you were, but I was always like bigger than like all my other teammates. So like we would like go out or something, and like we would go like, whether it was like going to the pool, like I never wanted to put a swimsuit on, or like when we would get like t-shirts like at the tournament, like I always had to get like the large, and they were all getting the smalls, and it was like that like kind of like screwed with you a little bit, because like everybody else on the team was like this certain way or this certain size, and then like I was like, oh my gosh, like I'm so much bigger, even though in reality it like really wasn't that big of a difference, but like the way that it felt. And then like when those experiences just like kind of like start piling up, like it really can start like...
So in high school we were probably both like normal average size, right? And we thought that we were like massive. So that relates to like the next part of our journey, is kind of like a little bit throughout college, but more so like right after graduating college and going into like a corporate job in an office setting. We were gaining weight like mad women.
Like nobody's business.
And to be honest, we didn't even realize it at all. At all.
No.
Like we would just come home, I would eat my Chick-fil-A and watch whatever I was gonna watch on Netflix, and I would be just fine, hunky-dory, and do it all again the next morning. Like,
yeah. If you saw our video talking about what we used to eat in a day, I'll link that here if you haven't seen it yet, but that's how we gained like 150 pounds like fast. Don't recommend doing that.
It's weird because I wasn't comparing myself really to other coworkers. I was just kind of
like doing our own thing.
Doing yeah.
We were kind of in our own world.
Yeah. It was weird.
But, like, when we were, like, gaining weight, like, so fast, we didn't really even realize how big that we had gotten. And so, like, we were just wearing, you know, the same clothes, but then you just kind of, you start, like, filtering out clothes that don't fit you anymore, and then you kind of only start wearing, like, the baggier clothes or the stretchier clothes, and, like, you think that you're fine because you're still, like, wearing that, like, size, you know, whatever it is, like, XL, and you're still wearing that, and it's fine. Like, I literally wore the same jacket, like, every single day.
For, like, 6 months.
For, like, 6 months, yeah. Because,
the blue one.
The red one and the blue one. I had 2 different colors of the same jacket, and I would wear that. But yeah, and so it was like, I didn't want to go buy new clothes, but I also knew that, like, my other clothes, like, weren't fitting, but, like, it was just kind of this, like denial kind of phase, if you will.
Yeah.
And especially
like,
for
no
pants.
acknowledgement, because we didn't really even, like, talk to each other about it.
Right.
We're like, I don't even know, kind of.
Yeah.
And then, towards, like, kind of right before, like, the peak of our, like, start of our weight loss, we started going to, like, the nicer store to get, like, the bigger clothes.
Because at that point, like, whether it was like, oh, I have an event and I need a nice shirt,
Yeah.
or, like, something like that.
Mm-hmm.
So then it was, like, at that point, I remember we were in the dressing room at one place. This wasn't even, like, when I was, like, my biggest, but, like, you brought in a shirt and you're like, here, like, wear this shirt. And I was like, first of all, this is an ugly shirt. Second of all, I, like, opened it and it was, like, a size 2X. And I was like, there's, like, no way. And I, like, stared at myself in the mirror and I was just, like, disappointed and, like, frustrated. But I also, like, couldn't even, like, see that I was, like, that size.
Yep.
And it was, like, the weirdest thing.
Yeah.
And especially, like, even, like, as we talked about, like, we gained more weight on top of that. So by the time I was, like, a 3X.
Was that?
I think it was at Nordstrom. It was that shirt with the flowy...
The stripy one?
No, it was, like, flowers, and it was, like, black and, like, gold.
Oh!
Yeah.
We bought that shirt.
Yeah, we did, and I wore it a lot because it fit. Yeah, like, by the time that we were, like, a size, like, 3X, like, I was wearing, like, size 24 pants, and, like, you hold them up, and you're like, well, this is weird. And it just, like, it didn't feel like that was, like, right. But it also was, like, well, yeah, like, I don't fit into a size 12, 14, 16, 18, 20, 22. Like, I fit into the size 24. But so it was, like, super weird.
We didn't, like, correlate with, like, how we were feeling to, like, how big we were. We just thought always, like, we were just the same.
Right.
I don't even.
Yeah.
It's weird.
And then, like, even, like, then we kind of finally started to accept that, like, we were bigger.
Yeah, like, I think a big event, well, actually the only event was, like, our, we had a housewarming party where we, like, finally saw a lot of people, like, outside of our coworkers for the first time in a long time.
Yeah.
And that's when I was like, whoa, like, looking back at those photos, like, the week after or whenever, I, like, kind of didn't want to look at them because at first, when I did see them, I was like, whoa, like, what? Like, whoa.
And it didn't feel like, that didn't feel like reality. It was like, I'm not that big, like, especially in compared to, like, people that we saw, like, for example, like, coworkers or friends who were, like, normal, like, there's nothing, like, no normal size people, but, like, people who were, like, generally in, you know, good shape of, like, the range of, like, a healthy human being, and, like, the comparison of, like, me next to that person, I was like,
no.
Whoa.
Yeah.
And, like, it just didn't feel real. Like, it didn't even, like, seem, like, I didn't, like, see that, like, in the mirror. So, like, seeing it in pictures was, like, and especially, like, all of those, like, spring break photos that, like, we like to post all the time. Yeah. But, like, those were, like, it was, like, oh, like, it's a bad angle. Like, oh, that's just, like, the camera, like, whatever. But, like,
it's just so weird, like, the contrast between, like, being normal average size in high school and, like, always needing to be smaller versus, like, being out of that and, like, not comparing ourselves to anyone and not telling ourselves or reflecting on ourselves, like, oh, like, we need to be healthier, like, we need to be healthier. It was, like, the complete opposite. It was so weird.
Yeah.
I don't know if this happens to everyone, but that's kind of what happened to us.
And I think a big part of it was that for us that it happened so fast.
Yeah.
So I don't know if like if you lose weight slower you gain weight slower and like you're just like buying like one size up at a time. Like
we were like we went to the store and it was at least three sizes higher than before. Like a 14 to a 24.
Yeah.
26
it was
for you.
Right. I was 24. I never got 26.
Yeah, 24 was the highest.
Yeah. But it was just like super weird and just looking at yourself and like, especially when you're not necessarily in the mindset of like trying to change, just when you're in the mindset of like, this is who I am.
Yeah.
But then like still seeing yourself in a photo and like just absolutely like hating it.
Yeah.
Was like, yeah. But then it was like, we did that and like for so long it was like, it never triggered anything to like change.
Mm-hmm.
And I don't know if that's like, if like people like look at pictures of themselves and they're like, oh my God, like I need to change like right now. But like that never really like, it was just like, oh, like like, yep, I'm fat. And then it was like, move on. Next page. Super weird.
Keep doing what we're doing.
Yeah, super weird. But we also didn't really take a lot of photos either.
No, that's what I'm saying is like that one event or like that one wedding that we got invited to, like.
Yeah. Carrie! We love you and I'm sorry that we always use your wedding photo as our before photo.
Because we didn't do anything, we didn't get involved socially because like we were just like working nonstop. And
then like we stopped going to like abs games because we started getting like tighter in the seats and like we couldn't go be comfortable at concerts and things like that. So like,
but that never, like you said, it never triggered anything. Like, like we need to be healthier. Oh, we need to stop eating here. Oh, we need to stop doing.
No, it was like we stopped doing fun things.
Yeah, because we were just caught up in like trying to just learn more and do more and work more.
Yeah.
And so just like with our body image, it was just like, I don't know, like
it wasn't even like a factor most of the time.
It was weird.
So it's interesting.
It's very funny because we didn't even think about this during our weight loss journey, but we lost so much weight so fast that we ended up still having body image issues, going back and losing weight and being healthy and being fitter. And it was just like, we didn't expect to feel that.
Something that was like super interesting is that as we were losing weight, like for example, we lost our first like 50 pounds. I felt so much better and like so much more like me. And I just felt so much better about myself and my body image, even though I was still like 275 pounds.
Massive.
At the time. I just felt like amazing. I felt like I could put on anything and wear anything and like wear bright clothes and all of this. And like, even though we were still big.
Because we had energy as well. Like we were like feeling good inside, like healthy.
So it was also a little bit weird to like do that and like we were taking more photos, but then like feeling so good, but then also seeing those photos and being like, okay, like wow, like I'm still a lot bigger than like I feel like I am. Yeah. So like that was kind of weird.
Yeah.
But then like we just kept like losing weight, because then we just kind of got a lot smaller, but then we just always felt like we were bigger than we were. So like as we dropped down to like 200, 190, just kind of like back to like, you know.
And then from there, like now, like restructuring like our muscle and all of that and being still like that same weight, but like restructuring our whole body. We're getting even smaller and wearing even smaller clothes than like than all of our old clothes from high school. We're like, holy cow, like even like all of our old stuff is too big. And like, that's like a weird,
it's very weird.
It's a weird thing.
Like we don't necessarily feel like we are like small or thin, like because like in high school, like that's what we were always trying to do, is we were trying to get small, we were trying to get thin. I was trying to get to 159 pounds instead of 160 pounds, God forbid. But like I was always like trying to go for that and like getting into the smaller clothes. But like now it was just like we put on a size like extra large and like that's too big, like we need to put on something smaller. And it was like weird because that wasn't like what we were aiming for, but like that's just what happened. And it was just super weird to have that like having to put on smaller clothes and like no matter about your composition.
But then there's like the whole other side of it all happening at the same time. Like when we take workout videos of us doing stuff, or like my like professional like real estate photo shoot that I just did, and you look at those photos and it's like, that's not me. Like that's way smaller than I look at myself in the mirror.
Yeah.
But like in those photos, it's like, that's not me.
Yeah.
So it's like a weird thing, like all happening at the same time, like currently, where we're like, oh, like we shouldn't be able to fit in this medium. Like we've never ever fit in a medium.
Right.
And then we put it on and it fits. And then at the
seeing
same time, we're like,
ourselves.
oh, like, wow, like that person's really small. Like, oh, shoot, like that's me.
Mm-hmm. Or just like
all at the same time.
Now, like standing next to people in a photo and like being the same, not the same size as them, but like not looking like you're the bowling ball next to them. Very weird.
It's weird.
It's very weird. And it's like, and it messes with your head a lot too, because like, obviously like most people, like ourselves included, are just like, you wake up every morning, you look at yourself in the mirror, like, you know what I mean? Like you see yourself every day, and you know, you just look at yourself and like your brain is just like, it can be a liar, but it can also be like a truth teller. And it's very weird, and it's very interesting. And like, you can get into the whole thing with like how like you talk to yourself and like how you look at yourself and all of that. And like, that's a totally separate topic that we're not going into. But like, it's so important because you can be like so small. Like that's like a big issue with people who have like anorexia, is like they look at themselves in the mirror and they see that they're huge, even though they're not. Like it's the same thing that we experienced. Like we were gigantic. We felt like we were
normal.
Little. And now
not
like,
little,
we're small,
but like normal.
Yeah, like now we're smaller, like smallish, like for our personal selves relatively. And we look in the mirror and like we see, like, I don't know what you see, but like sometimes I still see like how I was when I was 260 pounds.
Like,
so
this,
like
the fish from SpongeBob that's like,
yeah.
This is his body. That was you.
That was me. I know. But like, it's just so like, it's just so hard, and it's so difficult, and like you have to just like
just put that in a different container.
Like like if you're really struggling with that, I think it's so important to like just like find resources that can help you with that, because
you don't want it to impact your day or your days.
Right. And like how you like fuel your body or like work out, and like, oh my gosh, it's like, it's so crazy, and it's like, it's a big deal, I think. And like, you have to learn how to like have a healthy relationship like with what you see in the mirror, because with what you see in the mirror some days like may not be true. Like a lot of it I think depends on how you feel on the inside.
Yes.
And so like when you feel better on the inside, it like reflects
anything
in what you see
is possible.
Yeah. Oh my gosh. It's weird. And I'm like, guys, like, I know that like so many people struggle with it, and it's like
so do we.
Everyone's struggles are different, and they all like just like different causes and different roots and different things, and like it's okay to struggle and to like have days where you feel like a poop tube.
Yeah, as long as you like feel good on the inside, like stay hydrated and eat whole foods, then you will feel like yourself. Like you will feel more like yourself. Yeah. And you will feel happy and comfortable and confident, no matter what size you are that day.
And like what you see in the mirror is not like, I see this all the time, but it's like your body's like the least interesting thing about you. Like that is, it just is, like it just is. Like that is. And that's all it needs to be, and that's okay. It's weird to like figure out how to like
articulate.
Yeah.
All right.
Oh, but anyway, so that was my closing statement.
Oh,
so,
you have a closing statement.
Yeah.
Oh.
So as we kind of talked about our personal experience of like having issues from like different issues as like growing up athletes, like struggling with that, struggling with body image, like being like way overly overweight, and then also like losing weight and just being how we are now, is that like our brains like really can trick our mind and our eyes, like no matter what, no matter where you are, who you are, how you are. And so like you just have to have acceptance and just focus on bettering yourself, and focusing on what you can control and being yourself, and that is going to give you the best chance of like success and happiness and just having joy in your life as a whole.
Tell us what you thought of this video. Please comment or message us your thoughts on our struggles, or if you guys have stories that you would like to share with us, please do. Thank you for watching our entire video.
If you made it this
really,
far.
really appreciate all the views,
all the eyeballs.
Make sure to
like and subscribe
so you can see our next video coming up. We have some fun things in the works coming soon. Within the next month, you will hear all about it. So we love keeping you guys informed and sharing our story with you, and just
keeping it real.
Yeah, keeping it real. Thanks, guys.
Bye.